सारस्वते देवे गौरवाङ्कुचारिणि निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणि जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा. I welcome all of you for our today's session on Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yesterday I was discussing on this topic of how Lord Chaitanya, uh, his external and internal reasons. I will just take few minutes and I will revise it. I have shared the notes also yesterday. I thought I will just do a 5-10 minutes revision, and of course I am going to take another topic today, but to help us remember this point, so I'll just do a small revision. You're able to see my screen now? You're able to see the screen? Okay, thank you. So the arrival and mission of Lord Chaitanya. Then we discussed the prophecies of Lord Chaitanya's arrival from Bhagavatam, Mahabharata, and then it is anticipated beyond India also. Then we discussed the teachings and mission of Lord Chaitanya. The core principles of any dharma is Jivedaya, Namaruchi, and Vaishnava Seva. And then these lessons are there in Srimad Bhagavatam also, these three things in the pastime of Sudama, who is a florist. So he asked the same things from the Lord. And Srila Prabhupada prayer also was the same thing. And then we discussed about the unique role of Lord Chaitanya's uh, and what is his need for appearance. So that time the society was divided into two parts, orthodox traditionalist and progressive trend followers. And Advaita Acharya desperately called for the Lord. And what are the limitation of Advaita Acharya? Because he is Mahavishnu and the principle of Bhagavad Gita which is spoke ye yatavan papadyante, because of which he could not deliver. And Lord Chaitanya, Krishna is appearing as a devotee incarnation. So which who are not neutral. So he transcends beyond Krishna's usual neutral stand. And preaching not through divine power but through humility and love. And then impact of Lord Chaitanya's movement. So that then we discussed how the transformation of most fallen souls, how Nityanand Prabhu Hardas Thakur, this I discussed previously. And then we discussed about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is coming in the mood of Srimati Radharani. And Radharani, because of her golden complexion, she reveals Krishna, that we have seen. And then mercy of Lord Chaitanya, a philosophical exploration. Then we discussed how Krishna is told in Bhagavad Gita that Eyataman prapadyante. So you do, etechasi tatakuru, you do whatever you want. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not like that. He is very, very specifically telling no, only Krishna. That is Nate Vedu Swartha Gatim Vishnu. He is very, very particular about it. So this makes that, like, some may equate this to the modern ideas of freedom and democracy. However, absolute freedom without guidance can lead to chaos, just as a child needs discipline for proper growth. Like that, Krishna has got permits soul to reside in material or spiritual realms based on the desires. But Lord Chaitanya is strict yet merciful. So unlike Krishna's liberal stand, Lord Chaitanya embodies the highest mercy through strict devotion. And then Krishna stands alone, choose between different realms, even the spiritual planets also. But Lord Chaitanya stands is and demands complete devotion to God alone, no compromise. So this may seem fanatical, but it represents the ultimate mercy, ensuring the highest spiritual attainment. Clear, right? Now then we discuss the essence of love and bliss in God. So many say God is love, but what does this truly means? So love cannot exist in isolation. It requires both a lover and beloved. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he explains God as bliss, Ananda, transforms into dynamic personal love, into rasa. So this duality manifests as Krishna, the object of love, and Srimati Radharani, the shelter of love. And the ever-growing love between Radha and Krishna. So the love
Alert from updates available.
Love constantly expands. When Radharani's love for Krishna grows, Krishna's sweetness increases, leading to an infinite cycle of deepening affection. Right? In separation, the gopis experience Krishna so intensely that they take on his mood. So when Radha and Krishna's love reaches its zenith, they merge into one as Lord Chaitanya. And then we discuss the philosophical dialect of love. So the thesis is Ananda Brahma, the original undivided bliss. Antithesis is this bleed divides into two, the lover and beloved. And synthesis is they again merge to form Lord Gauranga. Right? So this is we have discussed. And then the twofold mission of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya's incarnation serves two key purposes. Rasika Shekara, topmost enjoyer, experiencing divine love for himself, focusing on internal ecstasy of devotion. And then Parama Karuna, the most merciful. It distributes divine love freely to humanity. His love was so powerful that even a breeze carrying his presence could transmit ecstasy. Right? So he has two aspects. One is Rasika Shekara is enjoying, and this love which is overflowing, it overflows and it gives others in the form of compassion for the living entities, Parama Karuna. So this overflow of love of Lord Chaitanya. So Krishna appearing as Lord Chaitanya represents the pinnacle of divine love. While Krishna allows choices, Lord Chaitanya insists on exclusive devotion, ensuring the highest spiritual fulfillment. So his mission is both personal and universal, experiencing the depths of divine love while sharing it with the world. So he's very, very particular. Anya Abhilashita Shunyam Jnana Karma Dhanamritam Anukulyana Krishnanshana Bhakti Ruttama. So Lord Chaitanya is very particular about it. So in that way, he is giving us highest things. Then we discuss the internal and external reasons of Lord Chaitanya's appearance and how they are connected. So understanding the internals of Lord Chaitanya's appearance, his external activities and their connection, the significance of continuing his mission. Clear? Now we are all searching for love. The universal desire for love, to love and to be loved. So engaging in Lord Chaitanya's mission as a path of love, how love develops in the heart and through devotion and preaching. The three internal reasons of appearance, and of course they are directly connected to the external reasons also. So first is the desire to experience attraction to Krishna. So this is Sambandha. So now Lord Krishna want to know what is so special in him, which makes everybody get attracted to him, right? So this is the first thing he wanted to know. What is so special in him? So this is the mystery of divine attraction. So Krishna as a supreme magnet is attracting all living beings. So the paradox, Krishna desires to experience what makes him so attractive. So the speciality in Krishna. So three easy to remember is what is so special in Krishna, what is special about Radharani, and what is special about the love. Only three things. Krishna, Radharani, and love. So in that way, it is easy to remember this external internal reasons. So Krishna as a supreme magnet, he attracting all living beings. And Chaitanya appearing to understand this attraction. It is clear, no? What is so special in Krishna. So this is, so now when we go to people and when we tell about Krishna, they get attracted to Krishna. So this is called Sambandha Jnana. So our purpose is to go to people and tell about Krishna. As soon as people hear, they get attracted. So Krishna says, wow, what is so special in me? Why people are getting attracted to me? So this is understanding is called initial connection with God. This is called Sambandha. So meaning of Sambandha is connection or attraction. So Madan Mohan as the deity representing Sambandha, preaching as a process of installing faith and attraction towards Krishna. Clear? Now, second is this preaching and compassion, giving people sambandha, helping them feel a need for Krishna. So true preaching comes from genuine compassion, Jiva Daya. So Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur said preaching requires gallons of blood. Compassion as, and this is important point, that compassion means we are understanding the suffering of other living entities, or we want to actually compassion as embracing the suffering of others to bring them to Krishna. So person is ready to take the sufferings of other living entities. That is actually preaching. So we have seen the first reason is very simple. What is so special in Krishna and why people get attracted to Krishna because of that speciality. Krishna want to know what is so special in me. And the second is the desire to experience his own sweetness. Now, what Radharani feels when she sees Krishna? That Krishna want to know. Okay, I am so special, but what does these people feel about me when when Radharani looks at me? And that the deepening of love through experience. So Lord Chaitanya wishes to perceive himself through the eyes of Radharani. So the analogy of sugar and tongue. So sweetness exists in interaction. Like sugar will not know how sweet the sugar is, but the tongue will know. So now Krishna does not know how sweet he is. He is Madhuram Madhure Byopi Mangale Mangalam Pavanam Pavanebhyopi. So he is Madhuram. So and Vallabhacharya Adharam Madhuram Vadanam Madhuram. So this Madhurashtakam is there. He is explaining how sweet Krishna is. So Madhuradhipaterakhilam Madhuram Madhuradhipate. So this Krishna is so Madhura, but Krishna don't know how he is. So he has to see through the eyes of Radharani. So that's why he comes. And then this is the development, love through practice. So now how that develops in us, that what is the experience a living entity gets, that love is, initially it starts with the holy name. So Govindadev is the deity of Abhideya. He gives the enjoyment to devotees. Madan Mohan gives the connection, but Govindadev gives the pleasure. So Name Ruchi are developing a taste to holy name. So initially that love for Krishna, how we experience is through the holy name of the Lord. So we get the holy name. Through holy name, we start experiencing that love. What is uh, what is experienced at the spiritual level? It starts with Nama, Rupa, Guna, and then Leela. Then we enter into Leela, right? And then role of preaching and personal spiritual growth. Yes, preaching must be accompanied by deep personal realization, and we develop the faith on holy name by reading scriptures very nicely. True faith is strengthened when one sincerely chants the holy name. And then we discuss the two pastimes of Ramanujacharya. He is initiating Lord Nambi and telling the secret of his transforming all the living entities. And then we discussed how a businessman who went into bankruptcy and his wife left and nothing was there except for the books. He read all philosophical books. Everything was convincing, but he could not understand what to do. But when he read Prabhupada's book, and very important is Sambandha Jnana is from Bhagavad Gita for us. If you want to know Sambandha Jnana properly, the book which tells us Sambandha Jnana is Bhagavad Gita. So Prabhupada, he wrote this Bhagavad Gita, and this person, after reading many books, he got Bhagavad Gita, he started reading, and after reading 20-30 pages, immediately understood what to do. Behind it is clearly written, just take the beads and start chanting Hare Krishna. So he started chanting. So the point is he could know what to do. So it was very clear. And then there is Vibhishana. He gave to this person, important is he gave the faith to the person who wanted to cross across the ocean to go to Lanka. Then as soon as the faith is reduced, the person drowned in the water. So he just wrote a Ram on a paper and gave, said, hold it and you will go. But suddenly he was doubtful. He just was curious. And he curiosity opened and saw it was Ram. Then he got doubt. Only just Ram and I am floating. Then he drowned. So the point is that when we lose faith in the process of bhakti, we will also drown in this again material world. And then the third thing is desire to experience love in separation. This is prayojana, vipralamba bhava, the highest ecstasy, love in separation. So this is the third thing. So two internal reasons and two external reasons we discussed. Two internal reasons are what? How special, what is so special about Krishna? So that is Sambandha Jnana. So when we know about Krishna, we get attracted to him. And second is Krishna want to know what Radharani experiences. So that experience can be experienced through the holy name. So Name Ruchi, right? And then now comes the third reason, desire to experience love in separation. So Lord Chaitanya want to experience the same bliss Srimati Radharani feels when she is selflessly loving Krishna. So we'll try to understand this prayojana is attaining the ultimate goal of selfless love. Like what happens, Srimati Radharani's selfless love is her happiness comes from Krishna's joy. This is actually important. So Krishna desires to experience, like when he sees that Radharani is getting millions of times more pleasure than himself also when he is getting pleasure. So Krishna experiences bliss. But Radharani experienced millions of times more bliss seeing Krishna blissful. So Krishna is surprised. I am supposed to enjoy, everything is happening to me. But seeing my enjoyment, she is getting more happiness. How is it possible? So that is what he wanted to know now. So Krishna's desire to experience the supreme love, selfless love. And then we discussed how like a mother is feeding the child is very happy eating, but mother is more happy that the child is happy because there is selfless love. Then we discussed about the uh, Leo Tolstoy and the discussion also, where the novel was written, the Darling novel, the famous novel named Darling. So where a woman is, wherever she is, when she was with a theater person, she was just involved with him. When she was with the forest, he is just, she was just worried about whatever is happening in the forest. When she was staying with the grandson, she's worried about whatever is school and all. So it looks like the other is making fun of her, but Tolstoy says that no, she does not understand what is love. That's why he is making fun of her. This is the important thing that envy cannot, if we have envy, we cannot understand what is selfless love. And that's actually what happening, that we need to know what is selfless love. And that's actually what is when we do service to Vaishnavas and seeing the pleasure of Vaishnavas, we should say, yes, this is actually what I want. I want to be happy. Seeing Vaishnavas happy, that is the prayojana we should attain. So highest thing we attain in our life is when we see Vaishnavas happy, and that is the highest achievement. That is called prayojana. The spiritual world is people filled with like that. Dharma projita kaitavotra paramo nirmatsarana. Who is paramo nirmatsarana? Is completely free from envy. Paramo nirmatsaranam sadam vedyam vastam vatra vastu shibadam tapatrayon Srimad Bhagavate Mahamanikute Kimba Parairishvara Satyo Hudyavruddhate Trakriti Sushushabit Takshana. Immediately Krishna will enter into our heart as soon as envy goes away. So we have discussed all this advertisement is because of this envy only. How this advertisement industry flourishes because people they know people are envious. When I saw somebody is enjoying in a particular way, immediately I get a desire to enjoy like him. That is because of envy. And then that is nicely cashed by people, and then they advertise and they can sell their products. Like that. So here we are seeing that then there is Sambandha, Abhidheya, and Prayojana. So these three things connected to the three reasons of Lord Chaitanya's appearance and internal and external reasons, how they are connected. So we cannot separate. People say, oh, we just are interested in the internal reasons of Lord Chaitanya. No, they are both are connected only. So we cannot just be internal and will not external. It is not like that. Like we discussed how taking prasadam we enjoy. The pleasure of prasadam is internal. But for that, we need to make external arrangement also. You need to make preparation for bhoga, offer it to the Lord, serve in your plate, make sure that no devotee steals our prasadam, and then we take it. Right? So the point here is that we need to know that externals are very much connected. So all these external internals we should know. And here we are trying to summarize the first 7 chapters of Chaitanya Charitamrita at some level, so that the pastimes of Lord can be nicely understood and easily understood. And then we will discuss. So here, the essence of Lord Chaitanya's mission is giving sambandha, deepening faith, and cultivating selfless love. So these 3 things. And true happiness comes for living entity and sharing. Now we will try to come to one more. Actually, there is some more points also, and of course there are very deeper discussions in this direction. But I don't want to take that aspect now. Maybe for next Gaur Purnima we'll keep it. There are so many other things about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but here I wanted to. I want to focus on one more important aspect of Lord Chaitanya's appearance, and this I have taken previously also, but this is a very important understanding. So the purpose of for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement and what is the meaning behind it, and because any incarnation is there, then there should be some pramana for it, the proof for that he is the Supreme Lord. So first thing we need to understand that Lord Chaitanya is God himself, and this is far from such an easy truth to understand, because he has a material biography. He is born on the night of a lunar eclipse, and we know exact date of his birth and exact year of his birth, and he was born in a certain family which is not very prosperous. His mother had 8 daughters before him, and all of them died. And there was another son born who actually left, home. And finally, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born, and like that. So he lived a life, all the details of which, and many details which we know. And then they say there is some lifetime portrayal of Lord Chaitanya also. Now, that time Facebook, Instagram did not exist. Otherwise, would have had many pictures. Now, it is very difficult to understand. And now, what is problem is without understanding this, how Lord Chaitanya is supreme, it is very difficult for us to meditate correctly on Lord Chaitanya. Meditation, first of all, means the first main condition for meditation, a distinct and clear understanding that he is the object of my meditation. So that should be very clear. So the only object for our meditation, it's not just object of our imagination. The concentration of our thoughts must be on the Lord only. So for this, we must understand very well that Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself. Like what happens is Srila Prabhupada it is written in Sham Sundar Prabhu writes that when they came to Mombasa, Kenya, and for the first time the devotees went to for Harinam. And the locals looked at Sankirtan movement with great joy and invited. Eventually, the newspapers came out enthusiastically for a reviews, and then they were interviewing Srila Prabhupada on a TV show. And the person who host this, he was skeptical. First of all, he was not in a bad mood, but when he saw the devotees, they are bowing down to Prabhupada and doing all sorts of things to Prabhupada, he became very skeptical. And then he was a fat black man. And the devotees brought them the image of Lord Chaitanya with his hands raising. And the first thing, the host of the show, he said, is this God? It cannot be God. This is an ordinary person. And then, without hesitation, Prabhupada immediately yelled at him. He said, why do you think God cannot take a form of a man? And for them, he did not have any answer for this argument anyway. Now, the point is that even we find sometimes difficult to understand Lord Chaitanya as Krishna, especially for Indians. We think, okay, he has come in Bengal, and Prabhupada also from Bengal only. And Prabhupada says many times that most of the gods in Kali Yuga are born in Bengal. Bengal is a very fertile soil. There are many avatars, one after another. And that's why there will be some doubts like that. Now, we have to get the reference from Upanishads confirming and the scriptures confirming that Lord Chaitanya is God. And we know that according to Vedic epistology or the theory of knowledge, he has come. How can we establish or assure true knowledge? That is called to assure true knowledge, there should be Shruti Praman. Shruti Praman is the highest Praman. Shruti is an apaurushaya. They are not created by living beings. So they're always present in this world. This is the breath of the Lord himself. And therefore, Shruti Praman is quoted above all in epistemological disputes. When you have a dispute, then the way to prove that, okay, this is right, then we have to give Shruti Praman. And in dispute that should like Gaudiya Vaishnava we should also have this Shruti Praman. Of course, we do not speak directly about Lord Chaitanya. Means this shlokas, the Shruti Praman directly does not speak about Lord Chaitanya, but meditating on certain verses from Shruti allows us to correlate very clearly what is said in these verses with the image of Lord Chaitanya. That means when we meditate on this verse very clearly, we understand that this verse is applicable to Lord Chaitanya only. It cannot be any other form. This is very clear. Even though the name is not written like Lord Chaitanya and all, but the indication is very clear. We'll see one of the verses from Mundaka Upanishad, and then we'll take one verse from Bhagavatam. So they are like, these are very important way to understand. And we have a very solid argument to establish Lord Chaitanya as Supreme Lord. And it may take little long time, but I will anyway try to take these verses. And when we talk about the now important verse, this is from Mundaka Upanishad 3.1.1. So when we talk about these verses, we need to understand that the main point is only like to learn how to meditate on Lord Chaitanya. That's all. Like when we know that he is a Supreme Lord, our meditation becomes more and more strong. The faith increases because we are too much accustomed to know to meditate on the pleasures of this world. And it is very difficult to tear our mind away from the meditations on this object and stick all the time onto the Supreme Lord. Because the pleasures of this world are very strong, the so-called pleasures. They're directly like watching movie and seeing certain things, hearing certain things, tasting certain things. So there is all kinds of meditation. The habit of meditating on matter, which actually leads to what? It leads to death. Why we have to go through the process of death again and again? This is also one of the reason. Because we continuously meditate on this matter. And matter is what? Matter is dead. So due to there is a defilement of consciousness that happens. And that's why very difficult to meditate on Krishna. To think about Krishna, think about the Lord Chaitanya. And for this, uh, we are given these shlokas in the Shastras to help us meditate. And we need to learn these verses by heart. So when we memorize these verses, chant and meditate on these verses and their meanings, and meditation on Lord Chaitanya, then that will appear. And this is the highest achievement human life. Why we should read all the shlokas. And so now in Mundaka Upanishad, one of the Vedic Upanishads, there are 11 main Upanishads. Samanvaya it is called. So Vedic Upanishads of the main evidence on which Shankaracharya also wrote commentary on Mundaka Upanishad that laid to the foundation of Vedantic discourses for Shankaracharya. So he explained. Now, there is a verse from Mundaka Upanishad which tells that how to meditate. This helps us meditating. Yet pashyeti rukma varnam kartaram isham purusham brahma yonir tad vidan punya pape vidyu nirma ja feryam samyupati. This is the translation is like that. One who sees the golden skinned personality of Godhead, Supreme Lord, the supreme performer of all affairs, the source of Supreme Brahman, will certainly attain liberation. So this is the translation is given. Now we will try to understand. Yaha pasya pashyeti rukma varnam. Now the translation for this, when a person is able to see, pasya means when one who can see, a person endowed with consciousness sees for real and sees. This means he realizes, he understands. So this shloka, okay, I'll share the shloka. Because the what is say, it is not. So this actually it is. I don't have Balram font in it. That's why I'm not able to share this shloka properly. But anyway, I'll explain. More important is you understand the uh, meaning about it. So I'll try to explain the meaning first. Uh, this what software I have no does not have Balram font, so that's why the. But anyway, very important shloka from Upanishad. Now you cannot have anybody who will fit for this. No incarnation will fit for this shloka except for Lord Chaitanya. That's why we are taking this shloka. We'll see what is exactly given. So it means that a person pashyeti rukma varnam. So as soon as he sees this rukma varna form, he understands nature. He does not mechanically look. He starts seeing reality. When he looks at this rukma varnam, the golden form of Lord Chaitanya, where what happens is consciousness awakens. Therefore, Upanishad says, Pashye, yeah, a person who can truly see and able to contemplate. So when a person endowed with intelligence or he is given a sight to understand. So this dazzling, resplendent Lord Rukmavarnam, the golden Lord, and he understands. What does he understand about him? Pashye means not just seeing. We can come with you and stand in front of Panchatattva and we just see the image of Lord Chaitanya, but will not understand, will not see anything. Our eyes will be like eyes of a peacock or a plumes of a peacock or something like, or a butterfly. So, but when we see really, it is said that Karta Isham as the one who actually runs everything. So Kartara means one who acts here. Isha means one who is in charge. So who has all the threads in his hand. He is charge. He acts and he controls. Kartaram Isham Purusham. And Brahma Yoni. Brahma Yoni means who is born from whom the effulgence of Brahman emanates. So if we suddenly understand that, oh, this person is God. God, this is what happened. So Lord Chaitanya reveals himself to the whole world through the kar. Now, what happens is because in those, he suddenly does a miracle. What is that miracle? Something which is seen as exotic religion, regional religion of some part of Bengal. So, which is only for illiterate Bengali people who followed. Even the literate intellectuals of Calcutta, they do not follow Lord Chaitanya, had long since abandoned the religion of Lord Chaitanya. And suddenly, all over the world, we see that people are suddenly started chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And one time, Radhanath Maharaj asked during one meeting, he said, how many of you worshipped Lord Chaitanya before they made Prabhupada movement? Nobody raised except one person. He raised his hand and he said, Maharaj asked, have you worshipped Lord Chaitanya? He said, no. We were told in the school there is such a saint as Chaitanya. Even I also read. And then he says that when I saw this figure, I realized that he is God. And Maharaj asked, where did you see that image of Lord Chaitanya? He said, I saw in Ukraine. The figure of Lord Chaitanya he saw in Ukraine. So, and before meeting Prabhupada. Now, that's what this verse is saying. If we suddenly see, and what happens is, suddenly the veil is removed. Suddenly the Maya is removed. Well, I will explain this we all will relate to it. Like, because Lord Chaitanya's movement is spreading, what is happening to the people is we are understanding. It's an incredible miracle that people all over the world suddenly starts worshipping Lord Chaitanya. From nowhere, all over the world, people know about ISKCON, they worship him. Why do they worship Lord Chaitanya? Because he's Kartaram Ishram. He is the Lord himself. That is the reason. And he sent Prabhupada, who did something absolutely incredible. So, and Brahma Yonim is the source of Brahman effulgence. Now, what is so special? What did Lord Chaitanya do? And Brahma Yonim is like his Brahman effulgence. When Lord Chaitanya was sitting in Banaras, the Mayavadi sannyasis, they suddenly saw a radiance that is coming from the Lord, Brahman effulgence. And somebody could not see only. They said, oh, where is this effulgence coming from? Rukma Varnam and Brahma Yonir. Now, when we see our veil is removed and we become indifferent, because what happens is we are so much into raga and dvesha, pious and impious activities. That's where we are caught. Now, when we come in contact with Lord Chaitanya, immediately a person who has understood the truth, a person to whom knowledge have been revealed, Punya Peta Vidyuhu. He clearly understands what is Punya and Papa. And we will be cleansed of attachment to pleasure in this world, which a person receives as a result of Punya and as a result of his pious activities and from the attachment to suffering. So this is actually what happened to all of us. Now we are very clearly know, Arey, Punya and Papa is not important. We need bhakti. How did we get this understanding? How did this veil of Maya is removed? Because we took darshan of Lord Chaitanya. So this is the point. Now tell me, where is the incarnation which did this, who is in golden complexion, who as soon as darshan of him, he removed the veil of the conditioned souls and showing, Arey, you don't need punya and papa. Because in general, people in this world are attached to suffering. And people are attracted to sufferings of this world much more than attachment to pleasure also. Because everyone knows the results of sin. In spite of knowing that we are suffering, we are in this world, yet people do mistakes. That means they drink, they eat non-veg, they know I'm suffering. If by killing more and more animals, I'll be in trouble. Still they do it. So the normal person cannot understand how by it is even the alcohol and all. I never tasted it, but it is miserable only because it is rotten things, right? With rotten things only you make grapes you take, you rot the grapes and you make wine. And how can somebody enjoy something very, but still so if a person is not attached to suffering, how will you do it? But people in this world are attached to suffering. And that vidyan punyam peti upetyam. He says that this is an amazing thing, and surely we all can experience this. That we came in contact with the movement of Lord Chaitanya, suddenly felt that pious and sinful activities are not very important. We need to do bhakti beyond pious and impious activities. We are more interested in chanting than going and doing some social service. And suddenly, because we lost this interest because of this, so many things are there, no? Um, uh, we used to read so many novels and do so many other things, and like watching movies, this, that, going friends, parties. Immediately, we all lost interest. How many of you want to go to with your materialistic friends for some outing and parties? We don't like only. Why does this happen? Suddenly, from where this veil of Maya is removed? Because we saw this Lord Chaitanya. So the most important, so this description, who was born like a golden boy in a family of a Brahmana, the Brahma Yonimis who took birth in a Brahmana family, Rukma Varnam, and people who saw, suddenly rose unexpectedly for themselves, rose above the duality of Raga and Dvesha, and about the duality of Papa and Punya, about the duality of pious and sin, suffering and pleasure. So how could we very easily distinguish all these things? Because of Lord Chaitanya. So suddenly people understood that there is a third way only, not just Punya and Papa. It is very difficult to understand normally because people are so hardwired that the meaning of life is to avoid suffering or to get the suffering when that or to considering suffering as a pleasure and get maximum pleasure of some disgusting things of this world. So this is how people's purpose of life is. But suddenly we understood, no, 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 I don't want. You say you want to become a president of America? No, no, now I don't want. Otherwise, you just ask any materialistic person, that says yes. Executive power, I should also get some executive power and destroy the, do whatever whimsical things I want. So this is uh, and something happened. So there is a reprogramming that happened because it is almost impossible to get rid of this programming for most of the people because we are already sticked in this binary program. I like, I don't like, love, dislike. It is impossible for person to suddenly get rid of all these things. Like many people, they come when they ask, what do you do? When we tell about regulative principles, no meat eating, no intoxication, even tea, coffee also, no movies. And people think, no, it is not possible. They think there is something abnormal that is happening. How can you not do all these things? So this is actually a person completely cleans of this. This program is changing. And so this pure Niranjanam means a person has risen above the contamination of modes of material nature. Clear? So now this shloka from Mundaka Upanishad, which incarnation will fit for this apart from Lord Chaitanya? That is our point. Even though he is born in a Brahmana family, his Rukma Varnam, his complexion is, and seeing him, people are coming to this state. So, and another thing is, there is one more important point in this verse. Param Saumyam Upeti. Upeti means he acquired. Param Saumyam means he has acquired, he attained supreme oneness with the Lord. Now, the followers of impersonal, because this is Mundaka Upanishad, the Mayavadis immediately they understand. See, they will say here is Paramam Samanya. So this is merging with Brahman, they say. But we say no. This is not merging with it. Samanyam is means equality. Equality of what? That we are all tiny particles. If we merge into ocean, we don't become ocean. So Paramam Samyam means that I become like Lord. In what way? This means my heart, there is love of the same intensity that the heart of the Lord has. That is the point. So there is love in the heart of the Lord. So when we become one means we are also experience the same intensity of love. How can we say that? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave that gift. He is Niranjanam is not just purified. Purification is done by other incarnations also. But Lord Chaitanya is not just purifying. He is not just achieving some state of purification. He reaches the highest degree of equality with the Lord. That is unity with the Lord or merging with the Lord with the love in him. This is actually Lord in love. And this is we can see the past tense also. Lord Chaitanya gave us the experience. We are also experiencing in Kirtan. This is something very important. And it is Pashya Pashyanti Rupa Varnam. This miracle has not just happened to us. So it is happening to many people across the world who don't know even anything. So when Lord Chaitanya was caught by a fisherman, if you have heard this pastime of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Antalila, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fall into the ocean and the fisherman catches him. It's a huge form of Lord Chaitanya, I think 15 meters something. And this fisherman catches, and when he touches the Lord Chaitanya, huge figure, the fisherman immediately he starts experiencing that prema. And he is fainting and he is shouting Hare Krishna and he started trembling, tears started falling and endlessly repeating the Hare Krishna mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, 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 like that. And then he thought that, oh, I was haunted by a ghost. No, Hare, you got such a deep ecstasy of love. This is the oneness that is spoken here. So Paramam Upetyam, he saw that Rukma Varnam has suddenly he fell in the same. So then he began to, the fisherman is complaining that, oh, I am haunted by a ghost. Ghost had entered me. Because he never experienced something like that in life. When he was just touched by this golden figure, then immediately that bliss was experienced, right? So in order, the same experience is giving. So this is actually what Gaudiya Vaishnava schools, this is the proof from Mundaka Upanishad. You tell me which incarnation is Rukma Varnam, Brahma Yonir, and then Upeyam. It is not just purifying, he is making oneness with him. So where else is Rukma Varnam? Which manifestation of Lord? Just by seeing him, people Yad pashyati rukma varnam. Simply by seeing, people attain paramam somyam, supreme equality with the Lord. Right? So where else is this happening? This is what is the uh, first point which we are discussing. Now we'll come to this verse which is written here. But there is one more most important is actually after this verse is what I wanted to discuss. This is the 11:5:33 is the most important verse. This gives much more detailed because even the verse previous one where Krishna Varnan Tusha Krishna Sangopanga Suparshram Yajna Sankirtanam, other acharyas give different commentaries from other paramparas. But this verse nobody can refute. It will be for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Dhyayam sada paribhava भावाग्न अभीष्ट दोहम तत्रास्पदम शिव विरिंच नूनम शरण्यम भृत्यार्तिहम प्रणतिपाल भवन्ति पोतम वंदे महापुरुषते चरणारविंदम. This is only applicable for Lord Chaitanya. We'll come to this first. We'll try to understand what this is from the 11th canto of Bhagavatam. It is very important. This is the proof that Lord Chaitanya is Lord himself, and the predictions of his coming are contained in Srimad Bhagavatam, and which is given. So this verse is spoken by Karabhajan Muni in response to questions from Maharaj Nimi. So Maharaj Nimi asked him to describe the different avatars that come in the 4 yugas, in different ages and different periods of Vedic history, right? So the context you said see very clearly. This is the direct discussion that is happening when Maharaj Nimi is asking, tell me the incarnations of different ages. So there is no ambiguity. This shloka is only for the incarnation of Kali Yuga. So when the turn comes to Kali Yuga at the time, then Karabhajan Muni alters these verses. Now, if you see the previous verses, so it is very clear. So he tells about, I will show you here. You can. So that is the 31st verse. But we'll see here. See, he is telling in Treta Yuga, Lord appears in with red complexion. So he is telling about Treta Yuga. And he says in Dwapara Yuga, the Supreme Lord appears with dark complexion, wearing yellow garments. Who is he? Krishna. Clear? This is 27th verse. And 28th verse also he describes, my dear king, in Dwapara Yuga, men who desires to know Supreme Personality of Godhead, they worship in a particular way. And now 29th he says, same thing. Oh, then he glorifies Krishna, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Anuruddha, Vasudeva. And then 30th he says, O king, in this way people in Dwapara Yuga glorify the Lord of the universe. Now, a continuation is in Kali Yuga also, people worship Supreme Personality of Godhead by following various regulations of the revealed scriptures. Now, kindly hear from me. He is telling about whom? Very particular about Kali Yuga only. Now, he says this shloka, very famous shloka, that in Kali Yuga, intelligent people perform congregational chanting. Krishna Varnan Tusha Krishna Sango Pangastu Parshram Yajne Sankirtana Prayajn Sumedasaha. This is the verse. Which one? Text 32. Clear? Now, this is continuation of this Kali Yuga only. He says, my dear Lord, you are the Mahapurusha. So, which is the shloka which we are going to discuss today. And this is how the next connection. And then till here, 36, it is all Kali Yuga only. So, very, very specific. Now, we have to tell that what is this avatara of Kali Yuga, which Karabhajan Muni is mentioning. Who will fit in this? Which personality will fit? Now that is our topic of discussion, right? So we will come to the discussion now. So now this verse is Krishna Varnan Tusha Krishna Sango Panga Sparshan Yajna Sankirtana Prajanti Sumedasha. So Krishna Varna means Varnayati means describes. Who is describing about Krishna? This avatara who is coming is describing about Krishna only. Is Krishna, but is describing about Krishna. Krishna Varnam. That is the incarnation of Kali Yuga. Krishna Varanam Tvisha Krishnam is the incarnation of Lord in Kali, talks about Krishna all the time. Now you tell me who will fit for this. Describe the qualities of Krishna. So Bhagavatam is telling about Lord Chaitanya before he appeared. Because it is Channavatara, not everybody can understand it. That's why we don't know. But otherwise, Bhagavatam already explains, Bhagavatam already tells, Mahabharata already tells, Mahabharata already describes. So it is very clear. So now here it is clear that describe the qualities of Krishna all the time, utters the name of Krishna all the time, describe the pastime all the time. Who is that? Krishna Varanam and Tvisha Krishnam. His body, his color is golden. He is Gauranga. His body is now Tvisha means he has it radiates. Tvisha means that radius that comes from his gold. That's why it is Tvisha, it is radiating. So Krishna Varnam also means that although he is Krishna, he is in the category of Krishna, but his mood is different. He has a different mood of other than Krishna. Because the color represents mood. We have discussed also previously. And then Sangopanga Supashram, he comes here with his Sangha and uh, uh, Angas, along with close associate like Nityanand Prabhu Advaita Acharya, and Upangas are like Srivas Thakur, who are incomplete expansions, we can say. So, and other devotees who carry his energies and his personality and all this, Sangopangastu. So what is the weapon of Lord Chaitanya? According to Jiva Goswami, he says the beauty of Lord Chaitanya is his weapon. And Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur says the weapon is Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So this is actually the main important weapon. And he comes with all this huge company from the spiritual world. Sango Pangastu Parshadam. He's coming from the spiritual world. They all flood this earth. All these strange living entities, they all suddenly connect with each other. And everybody loves each other and starts hug and this. Karabhajan Muni is saying, this is actually what? Yajna Sankirtana Praya Yajanti Sumedasa. Those people who have intelligence in this age of Kali are doing what? They are just chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Those people who have no mind also, they also they also do. Because Kali Yuga, there are almost no people left who have proper intelligence. We cannot understand Shastra, but everybody is doing it. So even if you don't have intelligence, also we can chant. So here, Karabhajan Rishi, he recites this verse. And here is Lord Chaitanya and his associates. Now somebody else have other interpretation. Now, but the next verse, it will not be like that. We'll see how. So there will be this absolute amazing, like no, in Panchatattva we will in the Vedic temple of Vedic planetarium. The middle altar is of Panchatattva. So in now the main tourism for Calcutta, West Bengal is Mayapur now. It is said that more people will visit Mayapur than Tirupati also eventually. So the miracle is happening in front of our eyes only. And it is because Krishna is, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna only. That's why all these things are, because the past tense are coming out. Now we'll come to the main verse. Dhyayam sada paribhavitagni abhishtado. So this is the next verse. This verse is very nicely elaborated, but we will take this verse. Now, please try to understand. I'll take few more minutes. Of course, I'll take more time because this verse is very important. And Gaur Purnima is there tomorrow, so we should know about this verse very nicely. I spoke this verse last year also, but our Kali Yuga memories will not be able to remember much. So no problem. We can again recite. And more we hear, we get a better understanding. So my purpose of explaining is also same thing. I want to understand it much more deeper, much more better way. Whenever I hear, I understand it much more clearly. Now, Dheyam Sada. So this verse starts like this. Dheyam Sada Paribhavitagna. Dheyam Sada, first thing that Karbhajanam, even the first word itself is so interesting. He says that Karabhajan Rishi says about this incarnation of Lord. In Kali Yuga, okay, Krishna Varnam you told. Now, how do you prove that it is only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? There can be other interpretations also. You are telling Krishna is coming in this golden form along with his associates, and then he is always glorifying about Krishna. Okay, what else? He says this incarnation of Lord, Dheyam Sada, is the actual object of meditation for all living beings. Dheyam means dhi, which means to meditate, to concentrate one's consciousness. He is the true Dheya. Dheya and Dheyam Sada, he helps. This is the most important. This incarnation of Lord helps us to think of Lord constantly. And when we are chanting, hearing, reading, who is helping us to meditate? This incarnation. If it were not for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there is no question that we are sitting here and meditating on Krishna. Because of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we are able to sit here and meditate. So this incarnation is helping us to meditate on the Lord. If we want to convey the meaning of all, the essence of all Vedic scriptures in 2 words or 3 words, the whole meaning of all Vedic scriptures, all practices, all sacrifice, all yogas, all astrology, all Vedic family relations is only one thing. What? Manmana, Dhimahi, Satyam Param Dhimahi. Manmana means meditate on me, Krishna is telling. Satyam Param Dhimahi means meditating. So there is only one word, Dhimahi, that means to think about Lord. Smartavya Satatam Vishnu, Vismartavya Najatutit, Sarva Vidhi Nishedasu, Yeta Eva Kinkara. Padma Puran says, the purpose of all things is always meditate, always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. That is the Sarva Vidhi Nisheda, or the essence of all scriptures that is on. To think about the Lord. Manmana means to think of me. Satyam Param Dhimahi. Dhima is meditate. So Srimad Bhagavatam starts with this verse. And almost in the end again that comes Satyam Param Dhimahi. Now, the meaning of all Vedas, the edge of all Vedas, the emphasis all the Vedas have, the only purpose for which all the Vedas are written is to help us, to teach us to think of the Supreme Lord and to stop us from thinking about ourselves. Most of the time we think about ourselves, about our sensual pleasures, about how can we be happy, because we cannot be happy while we are thinking about ourselves. That is another thing. So when Karabhajan Muni tells that real happiness cannot be achieved like that, we must tells us the first thing about this incarnation of Lord is doing, what he is doing, who is coming in Kali Yuga. The first thing he says that this incarnation Lord help us in an absolutely wonderful, mysterious, incredible way, magically to focus our consciousness on the Lord, and in a very, very, very simple way. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I hope you are all understanding, even though you are not asking questions. I am guessing you are understanding. Whether you, I am making it, I am trying to make as simple as possible to help us understand Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad, that this is Raga. So to teach us to think of the Supreme Lord, make us to think of, especially in the this see, in Satyuga, people meditated on Lord. It was quite easy for them to just sit. They meditate on the form in their heart. This is actually a Vedic process. It is a bit complex process. Now people cannot meditate. People take meditation courses. Some uh, teach meditation to others. And generally their meditation is after they complete their meditation, they will take 5 minutes coffee break, tea break, or cigarette break. This is how the meditation ends with them. There is Buddhist meditation also, but it's meditating on emptiness for Buddhists. After they complete meditation, they do the same activities which they were doing. This is because meditation is not something easy. It's a very complex process. Which needs to have a pure consciousness. Only a person have pure consciousness can meditate. Because even people in Treta Yuga could not meditate. What to speak of Kali Yuga? Treta Yuga, and the end of Satya Yuga, when Treta Yuga started, absolutely, it's the boundary between Satya Yuga and Treta Yuga comes Maharaj Pururava, the great predecessor of Kauravas. And Pururava, he meditated in Satyuga. He meditated on Urvasi, and that we hear in ninth canto. So he was meditating on Urvasi, and then Treta Yuga began. On the night which he is completely possessed by the desire of sense gratification in Treta Yuga, then what he did not uh, it did not discourage him from some to like uh, to give up this. But what he did, he was meditating. So then he invented another way of meditating. Because Treta Yuga came. He could not do the regular meditation which he was doing in Satyuga. So what he did, he developed the process of sacrifice. So sacrifice is nothing but another form of meditation on the Lord only. It is easier and more powerful also. Because people, the whole body of a person is involved. A person thinks how to utter mantras in an ideal way and to do everything right. So he's very much focused. And when it is said that this is a way of self-realization in Treta Yuga, it means the daily sacrifices at home and all these things. We meditate on Krishna only, or you meditate on Lord Chaitanya when there's a question in chat box. That we do japa, we meditate on Lord Krishna as per Lord Chaitanya's instructions, right? Or should we meditate on Lord Chaitanya? Both are same only. You meditate on Lord Chaitanya, Krishna, because they are same personalities, not different. So whichever makes you inspired, you can meditate, not a problem. We no need, actually, we just try to hear the holy name. Whatever form comes, it will come on its own. There is nothing to do separately. We can just uh, we think of Krishna only. So not a problem, whatever you meditate, both are same. And in Treta Yuga, people used to get up in the morning, they meditate on the Lord in the form of fire, and they kindled and they started this meditation. And I'll just complete this one word on Dhyayam Sada. I'll not take the whole verse, at least because it is becoming late. But I want you to at least understand this. Who is helping us to meditate in this Kali Yuga, especially? So people used to meditate on the fire sacrifices, mantras. They used to, in the morning, they wake, they meditate on in the form of fire, and then in the form of mantras, they uttered. The whole day they were happy, and in the evening again they used to perform a sacrifice, and then they meditate on the Lord. Then they, this is the and the and they fulfill the meaning of the Vedas, that is to meditate on the Lord. So then, in the end, they also reach the Lord because the whole consciousness was focused on the Lord. Because our consciousness focus on the object of this world. The object of the world, what is the nature, what we are meditating, the material nature is tamoguna. Our meditation, what is happening is tamoguna only. So what we generate by tamas, we generate tamasic consciousness, which is ultimately leading to death. You are understanding the difference? That we meditate on matter, which is tamoguna, our consciousness is tamoguna. Very simple. We eat food in tamoguna, consciousness in tamoguna. Meditate in tamoguna. So instead of meditating on Krishna, we have so many objects to meditate. And what all things we cannot even imagine also. And Dwapar Yuga, then the people began to worship the deities. Like there are huge temples. If you go to South India, there are huge temples. They're all built in Treta Yuga and worshipped in Dwapar Yuga, like that. And the huge, beautiful forms of Lord Vishnu are reclining on Anattases, are standing with four arms. And these are meant for people because deity worship is also even more powerful way of meditation. Because, and even simpler way of meditation also. Because people used to come to temple at any time, stand in front of the Lord, and they used to concentrate. The only condition for success of meditation on the deities is when one worship the deities, what is the condition? It is that God is in front of me. He's directly standing, he's a person. He's not just a statue. So Pratima nahi tumi sakshat Brajendrandan. If a person has this attitude, that's why we have so many stories of Lord talking to the devotees, Lord assuming different forms, he stole some things here, there, he is doing so many other pastimes are all these things that are where Lord is directly relating to them as a person. So that's how the people in Dwapar Yuga are related. So all stories about him. And but unfortunately, what happened? Even this does not work in Kali Yuga because people don't have time to go to temple also. They are so busy. We are so busy. And because we have to earn our money, we have to do so many other things. So it's difficult. So no time for meditation, no taste, no time. Therefore, Lord comes what? He comes as Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam. He comes and teaches how to meditate always on him in all circumstances, even in Kali Yuga. So in Kali Yuga, another way of meditation is people, they like to sing and dance, discourse. So many nightclubs are there. Even in there are many things are coming up now, especially after the software boom. And cities like Hyderabad also, there are many nightclubs. People go, they want to sing and dance. So, but this is empty and hypocrisy and sorry, there is what you say, Kali Yuga is full of quarrel and hypocrisy. And then third thing is discourse. People want to sing and dance. Any festival comes, any cricket match is won, or any marriage happens, any event happens, all parties and all, is only one thing, dance and sing. And then Lord Chaitanya said, okay, well, no problem. So this is a loud way of meditation is needed. It is necessary to meditate. So Lord Chaitanya comes here and says, Deyam Sada, I will teach you how to meditate on the Lord always. And this is what Karavajan Muni is glorifying. Give up, give us a meditation. So the first thing is, he says that we remember Lord Chaitanya, we certainly remember his form, and then we call out his name. So of course, many things are there, but we will end here. Any questions, comments? Yes, Mataji.
Hare
You know,
Krishna, Prabhuji. As a wonderful class. I just have two questions. One is if you can, give me the reference for that Mundaka Upanishad one more time.
3.1
And
shloka number
3.1.
0.1. Sorry,
Okay.
3.1.3.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji. The second thing is like you mentioned, like being raised in India, it's very difficult to relate to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu the way we relate to Lord Krishna. So how can one develop this love and reverence for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu the way we have to some extent for Krishna?
Yeah, we have to hear more from the Shastras how his incarnation is very nicely explained. So this is actually what the shlokas are there. It is already there in Bhagavatam. So now you tell me, which is the incarnation which Karavajan Muni is talking about? Who will match with the shlokas which Karavajan Muni is talking about? Which is the incarnation other than Lord Chaitanya? So that is our point. So Mundaka Upanishad also same thing. We are talking. You are telling this incarnation is Brahma Yonir and all these details are given. Rukma Varanam. We shall mark with only Lord Chaitanya, who is giving the same amount of bliss which he is experiencing. Oneness is experienced. So like that.
So probably this will take time, right? Like it's going to be a gradual, slow process.
Yeah, that's why every year I am speaking the same word so that I also get that conviction.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Correct. This recording we will post in the group. Actually, yesterday's also recording it is there. We generally we post in the group. We post it. Uh, we could not do it yesterday. Today. Any other questions? Okay. Hopefully, I I will try to send the notes of this class. If you are interested, you can let me know. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki jai, Gaur Purnima Mahamahotsav ki jai. Yesterday's class I already posted. This which I already shared in the first part, which is already posted in the group. So you can refer to it. And today's also I'll try to make, yeah, Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.